I've known Donald Trump a long time, and I'm struggling to not see this attack on Iran as potentially the biggest miscalculation of either of his presidencies, simply because it is going on already much longer than he indicated it would, and there's no apparent easy off-ramp for him now. And it's causing a lot of damage economically, politically. You know, militarily, America is superior, but even there, they're sustaining losses. And there are many people, even in the most fervent MAGA part of his support, who say, look, this guy campaigned on no more involvement in foreign wars, particularly in the Middle East. What is he doing? Staking everything on the biggest war imaginable in the Middle East.
Thank you so much for having me, Pierce. I've been a loyal supporter of the president for almost 20 years. This goes back to when I was 21 years old and I was Miss California at the Miss USA pageant. And I've known him, I consider him a dear friend. And I will tell you right now, I do not recognize our president. I think that we are an occupied nation. I think that a foreign country has occupied our government. And we are seeing now that this president of the United States of America is being influenced by a foreign government. And MAGA, let me tell you right now, MAGA is dead. It is deader than dead, and Americans are furious. We do not recognize President Donald J. Trump anymore.
So obviously the foreign government you're talking about is Israel. And Marco Rubio himself said before he then did a complete reverse ferret on it, as we would call it over here in England, he said that the reason America preemptively attacked Iran was because Israel, he didn't name it, but it was obvious he was talking about, had indicated they were going to launch an attack and that the Iranians may respond against American interests, which seemed a very convoluted reason for American forces to be committed. And they then, under huge blowback, tried to pretend he hadn't said it. But we all heard what came out of his mouth. And then we heard Antony Blinken, one of his predecessors, say that Netanyahu had tried to persuade both Obama and Biden to do the same thing by saying, I'm about to attack Iran. And when they said no, he then didn't attack Iran. And so, many people share your misgivings about this. Notwithstanding that, the polling still shows pretty strong support amongst the MAGA base for Trump and this attack. So how do you explain that?
No, I do not believe that one bit. I talk to MAGA people all day long, every day. And the everyday average American is absolutely against this war. And they know that the only reason why we are even in Iran right now is because of Israel. We see Benjamin Netanyahu coming to our country more than any other foreign government, any other foreign nation. He's been here almost 8 times. This is embarrassing. We are the United States of America. Why are we allowing a foreign country to occupy our government? And now we see I was removed from a Religious Liberty Commission because I dared to speak out against Israel. It's no longer a conspiracy, Pierce. What Israel wants, Israel gets. And we're witnessing that. And I'm telling you right now, MAGA is dead. And we will not vote for one more politician who lies to us and says, oh, we're going to drain the swamp and we're going to not get involved in foreign wars. Trump has betrayed our country and he has betrayed MAGA. And people are livid.
I mean, what is fascinating is to see how split the conservative right is now in America in a way I never imagined possible, which is that any criticism of the Israeli government is now framed by people like Ben Shapiro and Mark Levin and others as anti-Semitism, that therefore it means you must hate Jewish people. And I find that just A, ridiculous, and B, actually really offensive, and C, it totally devalues the word anti-Semitism and what it actually means and those who perpetrate it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Pierce. And you're witnessing it firsthand. You're being called now an anti-Semite. And you know what? I think that it's getting a little old. I witnessed this back in 2009 when I stood up for traditional marriage. I was called a homophobe. I was called a bigot, a hateful person, simply because I'm just upholding my Christian values. And so I think the name calling isn't going to work. But you're exactly right. This is what they do. And I call them Zionist thugs because this is exactly who they are and what they are. These are thugs that try to put you in this box and they lock you in and they shut you up and they cancel you from society. and they shun you, they humiliate you, they backstab you, and then they expect everybody else to do the same. And that's what Zionist thugs do. And this has nothing to do with Jew hatred. I am speaking out because I witnessed a genocide in Gaza. I could not deny my eyes. I am a Christian, I am a mother, and I was witnessing a starvation and a genocide, a real Holocaust before our very eyes. And they wanted me to deny that, and I refused to. And they want to call me an anti-Semite simply because I'm a Christian. And that's where this is going, Pierce. Pretty soon, Christianity will be anti-Semitic, and that is dangerous, and I reject that.
آنچه در مورد ما میگویند